Oh, hey. Welcome to the Creative Quest. I'm out here at dusk, trying to catch something. And you see, this thing only comes out at dusk, or really, really early in the morning. And sometimes you just gotta lay still and wait for it to come to you. But other times, you can run after it, you can catch it. Other times, you can chase it down and grab it. But it's really up to you to decide which one is better for the situation at hand. So right now, I'm just waiting. This thing is just coming and going all the time. It's just buzzing around my head all the time. And I see it and then I don't see it and then I'm running after it and trying to catch it, and it's just exhausting sometimes. But when you finally grab it, it's worth it. I think of it this way. Shoot. Oh, dang it. Missed it. Oh. I think I see it over here. Oh, it's going this way. Oh. I think I got it. I finally caught it. Oh, I totally got bit out there by something. Oh, so itchy. Ugh. Well, that was an adventure. What's up, guys? My name's Shekinah, aka Shay, and you are watching episode 12 of The Creative Quest. And I'm sure you guys are itching to know what I just caught out there. Give me 1 second. It's in this jar over here. Gotta unscrew it. There we go. Oh. Gotta be careful as you pull it out of the jar here. Alright. It's in my hand. Are you guys ready to see what I caught? Alright, here we go. Oh, I should probably get a little closer so you could see it a little bit better. Alright. Enough of the fun and games. In this episode, we're talking about inspiration. So what exactly is inspiration? You can't really see it. You can't really touch it or feel it. It's something that's very mysterious. That's what we're going to talk about today. We're in the age of information, so why don't we just go ahead and pull up Webster's definition of inspiration. Need my trusty laptop. Alright, here we go. Inspiration, Merriam-Webster. Inspiration comes from the word inspire, which means breathing life into. Inspire, this moving little word, maybe traced back to the Latin inspirare? I don't know how to say that. Inspirare. I don't know how to pronounce it. Maybe I should double check for the sake of academic integrity. Oh, here we go. Inspirare, which means to breathe or blow into. Inspirare is from the word spirare, meaning to breathe. So our English use of the word inspire is to influence, to move or guide through divine or supernatural agency or power. So many of the early figurative senses of inspire are religious in nature, so it's not really surprising to learn that the word shares a connection with the word spirit, which comes from the Latin word for breath, spiritus, which is also from spirare. Very interesting. I like that. That's pretty neat. 14th century, the word carried such meanings as to breathe or blow upon, to infuse, as in infusing life by breathing. This is hilarious. Of some slight surprise, perhaps, is that inspire also shares a portion of its history with flatulent. So inspiration is related to gas? So the next time you go to Taco Bell and someone complains about you stinking up the room, just tell them that you're feeling very inspired, that it's just busting out of you, and that they should appreciate your presence. Anyway, Latin words dealing with exhalations of air. Flatulent comes from the Latin flare, to blow, breathe. Flare also serves as a basis for a synonym of inspiration, which is afflatus. I think that's how you pronounce that. This is interesting. In 7 centuries since inspire came into English, it has had a number of related words, including several for one that inspires. We have inspire, inspirant, and if you're feeling a bit fancy, inspirator. There is also the fairly rare inspiratrix. That would be a cool band name. A woman who inspires. I feel a wave of inspiration coming on. Maybe a name for another solo project. All right. Thank you, Webster. So, now that we kind of have a definition of the word inspiration, where it comes from, that kind of helps us understand kind of the nature of inspiration in itself. So I really like this whole thing about breath, like breathing into something, like the animation of life-giving breath into a vessel of some sort. It's like super spiritual and philosophical, and I like stuff like that. So this poses the question, can inspiration come from within you, inside of you, or does it have to come from some sort of outside source that's influencing you? That's an interesting question. I'd love to hear y'all's thoughts in the comments below. But I think about this, and I think, that it could be both. For example, like if you experience something in your life, like maybe a traumatic event that you lived through, or maybe a relationship, maybe this incredible spiritual moment in nature, or maybe you're experiencing a piece of art or a piece of music that kind of like takes you to another place and it just kind of ignites you with something. This object or this event or this person or whatever it is breathing into you and animating the body of your imagination. And then out of that, you then create something else. The oxygen of creativity, which is inspiration. So from the other angle, how does inspiration come from within you? Well, if you think about it, these experiences that happen to you from the outside, a relationship, something in nature, or maybe just a season of life that was very traumatic, or who knows, it doesn't have to be sad, it doesn't have to be traumatizing, it could be really, really great, it could be really, really good, and it just overflows into this bubbling emotion of joy. That can be a source of inspiration. You see, the emotions that these events and these experiences create can be a source of inspiration. You could be kind of sorting through your inner being and finding these different things inside of you, these different emotions inside of you, and those emotions can breathe into your imagination and animate the body of your imagination and get things moving that way. So I think it's both. I think they're connected. I think they're interdependent on one another. So I guess the next question is, can you create inspiration out of thin air? Or do you have to wait for it to come to you? Like, can you go out and pursue it and catch it or create it yourself? Or do you have to wait for it to come to you? In my experience, I have found that you can do all three. I have, in my experience as a musician and as a songwriter, I have sought out inspiration. I've chased it down by, putting myself in a different environment, like going for a walk or going to an art museum or listening to music that I wouldn't normally listen to, or even watching a film or watching a show or flipping through a magazine or reading poetry. So I've sought after inspiration before and chased it down trying to catch the right thing that kind of sparks that moment. So I've also kind of found myself in a contemplative or meditative state where I'm just kind of sitting and waiting and becoming self-aware of what's going on inside my mind and inside my heart and my emotions, and I've found inspiration inside myself through that by kind of waiting for those things to kind of bubble up and identify themselves and then overflow into my imagination. And then there's making your own inspiration. So I've done something like this too. It's what does that even mean to make your own inspiration? Because inspiration is not a material thing. It's very existential. And so I guess the way that I would explain this is I just pick up my instrument and just start playing stuff. And through that, I am creating my own inspiration. I may be playing one thing and that one thing may lead to another. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh wow, yeah, I find myself in this really inspired place. And I'm creating my own inspirational moment through playing my instrument or singing or writing or whatever I may be doing. Whatever creative thing I'm doing at the time, I'm creating my own inspiration out of that very act of creativity. It's bizarre and kind of hard to explain, but I think those of you that have been in a similar place know what I'm talking about. So really, what I've been finding out is that inspiration is all around you. It's inside of you, it's outside of you, it's all around you. It's in everything and in everyone. It's really you being kind of self-aware of your own responses to these experiences, these people, these objects, your response to yourself that can trigger that kind of inspirational moment. But really, you just have to be awake. You have to show up. You have to be aware. You have to have those receptors up. I think it takes practice to be in that kind of position of receptiveness where, you cannot hold your breath when something's trying to breathe into you, if that makes sense. And sometimes we're like blocked up where inspiration can't actually find its way in. It just kind of bounces off and goes in a different direction, and someone else who's more of an open vessel will get that inspiration instead. And so really kind of have to practice, a receptiveness and an openness in order for inspiration to be a regular occurrence. So that's all I got for the definition of inspiration. Next week, we'll be talking a little bit more about what to do when you have a block, what to do when you are a clogged up vessel and there is a block and you're feeling uninspired. So stay tuned for next week. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed and you're liking the kind of stuff we're putting out on this channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to ring the bell so you can be notified every time we come out with a new video. And I'll see you guys next time on The Creative Quest.